This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
I protect the innocent.
I am Puss in Boots.
Meow.
Is it hot in here? Or is it me?
Puss in Boots. Legend tales of an ancient treasure, hidden for centuries and guarded by giants in a castle in the sky. Holy free-holies. Whoever finds this treasure will be given riches beyond imagination.
Show him the golden eggs.
No!
Please, you have shown enough. Do not worry, I will protect you.
Protect me? And who's gonna protect you?
Is it true a cat always lands on its feet?
No! That is just a rumor spread by dogs! Fear me if you dare. I hate cats.
That's not what your mama said.
Puss in Boots!
My thirst for adventure will never be quenched.
There was a miller who had 3 sons, and when he died his estate was divided among them. The older sons fared very well, but once the younger received nothing but a cat, and he often complained bitterly of his lot.
My brother may get their living easily enough, but as for me, I may soon die of hunger and want.
The cat, who had heard this, came up to the cupboard where he had been listening.
Don't worry, my good master. You have only to give me a bag and pair of boots made for me, and you shall see that your portion is not so bad as you imagine it to be.
Some barn and some parsley into his bag, and then waited for some innocent rabbit to feast on the dainties. Soon, 2 young rabbits jumped into his bag and put in Boots, drew the strings and caught them. Puss in Boots was very proud of his prey, and hurried into the palace and asked to speak to the king. Bowing low, Puss said,
Sire, I have brought for you rabbits from the warren of my noble lord, the Marquis of Carabas, which he commanded me to present to your majesty with his compliments.
The king was pleased and said,
Tell your lord, Marquis of Carabas, that I accept his present with pleasure.
In this manner, the cat continued to carry a present of game to the king, and least once a week for 2 or 3 months. Then one day, Puss in Boots said to his master,
If you only follow my advice, your fortune is made. Go to the river and bat just where I show you.
The Marquis of Carabas did exactly as the cat advised, and while he is batting, the king passed by, riding his coach, with his daughter, the loveliest princess in the world. Then Puss in Boots began to cry out,
Help! Help! My lord Marquis of Carabas is going to be drowned!
Hearing the cries, the king ordered his attendants to go to the rescue of my lord Marquis of Carabas. While the servants were drawing the young man from the river, Puss in Boots came up to the coach and told His Majesty that thieves had run off with his master clothes, though in reality, he himself had hidden them under a stone. After the Marquis was dressed, the king was much impressed with him, asked him to ride in the royal coach, and it was not at all strange that the king's daughter at once fell deeply in love with him. Quite overjoyed, Puss in Boots marched before the coach, giving orders to the workmen he met along the way. Presently, as the king came by, he saw some movers working in the meadow, and asked them whom the meadow belonged. The movers answered as the god had instructed them.
A very fine piece of land you have there, my lord Marquis. You speak the truth, sire, for it never fails to bring me a most bountiful harvest.
Soon the coach passed another field where laborers were working industriously. When the king asked to whom the field belonged, they answered,
To my lord Marquis of Carabas.
The king once more complimented and the Marquis upon his rich possessions. At last, Puss in Boots arrived at a stately castle. It belonged to an ogre, the richest ever known, and all the lands through which the king had passed that morning belonged to him. The ogre received Puss as civilly as an ogre could do and asked him to sit down.
I have been told that you are able to change yourself into any kind of creature that you have a mind to. You can, for example, transform yourself into a lion or an elephant. Pwe.
That is true, and to convince you, I shall now become a lion. Rar rar.
The cat was so terrified at the sight of the lion so near him that leaped onto the roof, which caused him even more difficulty because his boots were of no use at all to him. In walking on the tiles, however, the ogre resumed his natural form and the cat came down, saying that he had been very frightened indeed.
I have further been told that you can also transform yourself into the smallest of animals, for example, a rat or a mouse, but I can scarcely believe that. I must admit to you that I think that would be impossible.
Impossible? You shall see.
In an instant, he became a mouse and began to scamper about the floor. No sooner had Puss seen the ogre in the form of a mouse that he sprang upon him, eating him in an instant. In the meantime, the king's coach approached the ogre's castle. The king desired to visit it, and ordered the attendants to drive up to the gates. Hearing the wheels of the drawbridge, Puss in Boots hasted out.
Your Majesty is indeed welcome to the castle of my lord Marquis of Carabas.
And is this splendid castle also yours? My lord Marquis of Carabas, let us go in, if you please.
The Marquis gave his hand to the princess, and they followed the king into the castle. In the spacious hall, they found a splendid feast, which had been prepared by Ogre for some of his friends. The queen was so charmed with the good qualities of my lord Marquis of Carabas that when he had partaken on the bouquet, he said,
It will be your own fault if you do not soon become my son-in-law, dear my lord Marquis of Carabas. Malim.
After a short courtship, the princess became the bride of the Marquis, and they lived happily ever after. Puss in Boots was made a great lord and wore the most beautiful clothes, and never again ran after mice except for entertainment.
This is the story of a cat who became a hero. An outlaw dedicated to justice and a lover of beautiful women. A great, great lover. Really, it is crazy. I am Puss in Boots, my name would become legend.